Can I help you? What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the... They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. No, you don't. Fucker. Lay off the swear words. They don't make you cool. Besides, the RCM doesn't do search warrants. I know the law. You'll just have to wait for the kitchen to open. If you have to get in there, which you don't.
You do realize you can just go into the kitchen at 1300 hours. No need for superstar charm or Sambo-style antics here. Sambo is an acronym for Samaran boxing, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. Just letting you know.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Absolutely out.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit. Your body is ready, sire. A colourful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes your fingers itch. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room. Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop holds the plastic. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it. But no, he's looking the other way. Perhaps purposefully. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The note says, 5 Real. It feels nice and greasy. Yum yum. Money. Think of all the things you can buy with this. The synapses in your brain fire with glee. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it, just for the record. You look nothing like the man on the document. The sleeping dock worker has little to say about your actions. He remains silent.
Yes?
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. And have you found anyone to be sweet to?
What was with that fucking wink?
I see you are still grieving. Well, I won't pry. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Whatever do you mean? Ah, yes. Probably Roll With Me by the Fletchers. People often quote the Fletchers at me. Morel says it's my theme song. Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? Yes, indeed. We are in the fine city of Revachol. The new disco dancing. Much has changed, but it is... Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? There. The year is 51, and spring is only...
She looks flustered, her hands smoothing out the crew. The lieutenant studies you. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never mind, we're in this now.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Nope, sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control.
Meaning, buying is voting.
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. But we should stop for today.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something... It has something to do with everything. You were doing quite well up until the end.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes. Someone more...
No. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich maybe?
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
Of course, dear.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore. The man is finding it hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send any of the bottles rolling across the floor, where unidentifiable sludge makes it hard for him to breathe. Smells of vomit in here. He nods.
No problem, officer. Yes?
There they both are, two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet, like two baby crocodiles. It's pretty clear, good, they're balanced, comfy, feels like the only good thing about you right now.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here. Of course. What can I help you with? Of course. Where to? There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store too. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands. Oh, that.
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in the spring air.
What do you mean? We're in Martinez, sir. This intersection is called No Problem.
She's very well composed, back straight.
Excuse me? Oh, Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just okay. Me?
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
I am pleased to meet you too. Of me?
She hides it.
Is there?
The quickness of the reply certainly does not prove you wrong.
I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. Well, as you already know.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up.
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the salts I've had to inhale.
Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Fine. Oh, not much any. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind.
Look, as detective. I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man.
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think?
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow him down South Yekokata. A beautiful place. Good.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
Yeah? Says who? Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikos. They're...
He means the people living in Grad.
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk. Those degenerates from Grad. Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise? Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them.
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling, even if it is something unsavory. So he'd remain unaccountable.
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter. Had a royal license? Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient. Very prestigious. Goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. But when they try to replace us, they're trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice ain't no laughing matter.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Caprice Kinema. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio, a scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you. The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through...
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Under the green Prime Line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse. No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. Yeah, go on. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business.
God, why can't you just mind your own business? She mutters.
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. You mean, why did...
Why not?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know whom? What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't...
God, why...
I already said I don't want to talk... I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags when she was still working there.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the Skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you, well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about the end of all times and how everyone is a piece of shit. And then I had to deal with your toilet, the one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself. The ones I had to wrench out of your toilet. Damn it, I don't remember what I did to your damn papers. I don't remember every little thing I do. Especially when there's a hurricane loose. It's your fault for losing them. Not...
Something in you wants to immediately forget about this, as if there was a reason you threw them away.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. Didn't seem like you had fun doing it, though. All sorts of things. Some disco, rock too. So much disco and rock. Yes, that's the one you like to sing along to the most. The later it got, the more that one came on.
Interesting. You still have to find a copy, though, before you can blast it.
Wait, really? No, this is absolutely not true. I like Guard. No, I was actually flattered. I've always liked him. It was just bad timing.
There's a pause. You can almost see her on the other side.
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining. Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't take out your gun or something.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the call breaks. Then, the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in, over.
The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-4, your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh, goddamn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Over.
Mullen dicked us.
He's asking you to stop, says this is serious.
Of course it's serious. He lost his fucking badge.
Satellite Officer Vikmar concurs, losing your badge is serious. 10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please...
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Person was wondering if you found your badge yet.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober. Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? No.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over. 10-1, you're breaking up. 10-9, repeat, please. Over.
Lying? Over the phone? It's easy.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine the poor prick who has to relay that kind of news to the captain. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can't have some gangbanger running around with it.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? 10-4, I hear you.
What does he want?
He's asking for...
Is he fuck?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just...
Right, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important.
He isn't getting...
Request denied, sir. Over. He says he's...
Well, I guess it better...
Vigmar said... Anything else, sir? Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted. Noted.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Glad you asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented Eternite in the Vartna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, Eternite. Sadly, the only lasting thing turned out to be the material's highly carcinogenic effect. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite, that's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
There are several footprints. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, just a trash can. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that.
We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rat.
He might also have information. This
Kuno's got this!
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Oh yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno! Shit's coming up strong. Throwing rocks.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about. I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno! Ride the lightning, Kuno!
Kuno's riding at sea.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at—
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. The fuck?
He's calling us Kuno!
Fuck no! Kuno doesn't buy that.
Fast. This kid has got street smarts.
Alright, entertain the Kuno.
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
Shitload pig.
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop.
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Trying to make Kuno sing into the Pope probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit. You heard Kuno? Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
There is no Night City anywhere.
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You haven't been where Kuno's been. You haven't been in Kuno's head. You wanna know where Kuno was? You wanna know what Kuno's been fucking up to?
Don't tell him that!
It's not fucking lame. Kuno's building Kuno's City. Night City. Rage City. The City of Rage. That's it. And it's not lame.
Lame!
That's the name of Kuno's City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't about that.
It's impossible to deduce what it is about, at least for the moment.
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno!
You're testing Kuno.
Get lost,
Kuno's Kuno?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person
The fuck are you?
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! Help! Pig's got—
Help! He's got the Kuno!
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Help!
Escalate, Kuno!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just a...
Help! Misters, help! He's flashing Kuno! He's fucking logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling Kuno! No! Get off!
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act.
No one? Kuno's doing this.
Help! The pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
You put him up to this yourself when you decided to talk to him in the first place.
Listen to your friend. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno in the ass. Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up, look.
Relax. He can't read your... There's a dead body. Remember, that's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that. You're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno.
Kuno turned you into his prince.
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever.
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your
Click, 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 click.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5 days. Shit. Get the fuck out of here.
He can't do...
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just got a fly, pig. Not for you, pig. Kuno can't wait to see you get all...
Kuno can't wait to see...
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pan.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. The fuck do you... Good call, Pigmeister. Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it? Look at that fucking shit. Fuck does Kuno know?
The lieutenant takes a...
It's a trap, Kuno!
Don't be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't...
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in. I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not...
You can still see the top of her hat from behind.
I'll die before I squeal. Murder was the case they gave me.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No.
He's about to blow. Cock's gonna blow, Kuno.
There he still is, looking right through you. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and... Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Until a pool of vomit lies up. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it,
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear it. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some books.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this. Don't be a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silent. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. My name is Annette, sir. My mum. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head?
No, you're not head, child. Heads.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
You fail to deduce anything substantial. She waits intently.
Come on, anyone would notice that. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because
There is stress and unease behind these words.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. But
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir. Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar.
it does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were asking about Dick Mullen.
Anything else you wanted? Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden.
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you. She brings out her reddened hands. Her nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get...
There she stands, swaying on her feet. Assault, there's something you're missing.
Oh, King. I think that's why people read...
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Okay, sir. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good, or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. These are not very common. You can't have a choice. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick... Maybe some about other books?
Hello again, officer? Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the... Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the word and then accelerated straight into the fence. The driver proceeded to back before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage friendly city.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white
activity.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Nor does the wind right now. I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate, throw up, then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. I think I've lost my sense of smell.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. No. This is a two-man assignment. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over,
give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Can I help you? Mine? No, it...
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you...
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Okay then. Maybe you're callous yourself.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. Another thing. Great. I love... Yes? Wait, what? But what about the bird? Yes, the bird. I found it lying on the floor with a broken wing the morning she left. You broke the skewer!
I assure you it was him.
Why on earth did you have to break the skewer? I can't believe it. I was so sure it was Sylvie. Even worse, I thought she was trying to send me a message. Symbol of hope and all.
A tender type of hope. Something stirs in you. Perhaps this is why you broke it.
All right. Did she say anything else? About me, you know? Did she say anything about me? Really? I should give her a call then. Thanks, I guess. Was there anything else you wanted, or...?
We were sort of hoping there would be a gun, an expensive jewel, or at least a sword in it for you, if you deliver the message. Oh well.
Yes?
This trash container is locked. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows. No, searching for evidence. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Baptiste Soleil, among the threadbare kitchen towels, as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage. A rank corpse smell fills.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in
The lieutenant nods. It's just organic waste. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out four.
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork. It probably contains no...
Easier said than done. How could this pathetic cabbage of copy paper and plastic ever become très disco? Challenge accepted. You should be on the lookout for stylistic elements that elevate this cabbage to heights unforeseeable. Good choice. Soggy carton and some kind of food sludge welcome you back.
Officer, this is sensitive information. You need to take this seriously. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are...
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the Yellow Man, from only in its...
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate...
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything...
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Yes?
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of... You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal, even for them. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meters...
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide? Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up there. Who could have died there?
Hey. What happened? I understand. We can always put it on your feet.
Volumetric compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness There he still is, looking right through you with his white eye. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the... It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying...
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
The lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any notebook. It's clearly some man out.
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the hill. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's V3. The locals probably scavenged it. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know. No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirts we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabric.
Nice. That makes sense.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talk.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to. A small, bell-like sack.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic...
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until they're like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant... If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X5415 6745 678222.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us. It is. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that, for a full set...
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 rial, unadjusted for rank.
By catching, do you mean, let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them? Of course.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of...
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumption. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what...
The stench fills you.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head.
Brutal! What's wrong with you, ass?
I don't know, baby.
Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve by putting on the deceased foot?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink. And the hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of... This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing? Then you should ask me the first moment we get.
The cadaver hangs. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect,
I have only a cursory knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. But it's not quite complex enough.
it doesn't seem familiar from the insides of any radio computer your mind can imagine.
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open.
A Triggered Sunshine.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices.
Shit, Kuno!
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his here, a souvenir. Don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks but his eyes are milky white and blind to the world. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The corpse looks right through you. As you narrow your eyes, this is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloring? Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins.
So, what do you think? I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them.
Stop talking and...
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno! Fucked him up brutal-like!
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging. Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption. But we should still get him down before...
The pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he saying?
Talking about shit.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the...
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once his...
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso covered in tattoo. His eyes, dark brown hair grows on his head. The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark. Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 1938, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province. The man before you is naked, but the lips of the corpse are swollen. Preposterous.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced. The man before you. Tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings. Tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. No, that's still too high.
Sure. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained a muscle there.
The man before you.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. We are not getting him down already. Not getting...
How do you plan to get him down then? With social sensibility?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared...
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda. But what other options? The corp...
Someone else? You mean like... the police? Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help.
Yeah! Bang bang!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the...
Yeah, now we're talking.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
Silence. With his elbow and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye.
He's gonna fucking...
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenement.
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's desk was the wrong choice.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals.
Kuno's sorry.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word. Just look.
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can...
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you.
They only have...
This is the sorriest pair of pigs.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmen. You've held this, an A9 Armistice, before. At some point, it probably used...
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno?
The buckle comes into focus in your...
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves. The slow movement of...
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped.
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from. Then, the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
Ace is high.
The Ace is High, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. You could add an Ace's Low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another. The high arrives with a sharp slap as you turn up chill, but then it does, and with furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an Ace's Low hanging.
I knew these guys were
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy. In the meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Evrard.
You could ask the gardener for directions.
Yes.
Hello again, officer. How are down?
Absolutely gone.
Oh, right.
Yeah, keep her in the loop. It's strangely enjoyable to report back on the minute progress you've made. even to strangers.
Since the street signs missed the harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment, the harbor gates, some shops and a bridge, just coast. There's a lit, it's just water. No problem.
She's very well composed.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck about it? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fucking's got... Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretend... So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information? Yes, pray pardon, sire. Better to let it be. I did not mean to make you paranoid.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Fuck are you
He says you're stupid, Kuno.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, Court.
They're lost without you.
Why don't you...
Maybe we should.
You're testing...
Get lost.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters F-A-L-N running down his trouser leg.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around.
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, But you're too fat for fouling anyway, pig. The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah.
Back out and take your fat...
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to wear...
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Look, Kuno doesn't
Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March? Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil of... Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't...
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Stay away from me, pig. I'll die before I squeal. I come from the woods, good Davidu.
Don't be chump.
I'll die before I squeal. What's this kid?
Get the fuck out of...
So it's a girl. Interesting.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. You don't want to fuck with me.
You can still see...
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Hello again, officer. Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is...
No, of course not. I don't understand what this is about. The kid did this, right? The red-haired rat? Can't say a sentence without... Maybe you shouldn't be. I mean, you do your job?
You've been resting here for quite a while, haven't you?
Yes.
I understand. The RCM isn't welcome here, and the locals want to keep an eye on us.
There's silence, the smallest of smiles.
That's okay, miss. Do what you have to do.
A thin man is... As you step in, he nods toward the table. Okay, it's definitely not... A thin man is... As you step in... Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please, it's not funny. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted. The door does not budge. The cobalt blues, old cobalt. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why?
The winch, outside, in the backyard. Remember? No? Your fingers do.
Well, if there was a winch...
It's hardly a side investigation. You already have a name for it.
If you say so, Gart is the person to ask about this.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door. Sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old...
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay. A little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the... So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the animals. And I haven't... Yes?
You see ahead. The worker is in a deep slumber.
Hello again, officer. Since the street signs, there's the pier, the harbor gates. No problem.
She's You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you. She pops her raspberry-flavored bubble. Her shoulders tense. She shuffles back. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half-smile.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe.
She scrunches up her face into an expression of...
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but,
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for...
okay. Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really. Reality.
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the...
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. I don't know. What about it? Cool.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign...
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you need a bag, I guess. We used to have... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there. Some...
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine. Their logo is the bloodless...
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. Is this about the...
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles.
I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use off... no.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Duramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
A colourful display. The bottles wink at you in the light. There, in that dark green glass. All in vain. The great flowing...
Guess not, no. I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
A small cabinet on the wall.
Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better. St. Baptiste. You know, St. Baptiste Pharmaceuticals.
She is right. Sans bête.
Yes? Yes?
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the...
I was just messing with you. No one's... Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
Psst. Show him your stolen card. Now has arrived the perfect moment.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? The little boy had it good on his to get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere and the cops in his pocket. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library.
How does it come?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay.
It's implied he finds...
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real... It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing, you know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss...
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. Just can't break the command structure and tell you no.
Oh. Good, good. What matters do you want to discuss with Everard? Everard's got a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage.
If it's all so simple, why don't the...
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead? Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is complete. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong, sure.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big the windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see the driver has adorned his space. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features it is a sea at the back end of the cabin. A book with ragged edges catches your notice.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over. round monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on it, even by the standards of the... Well, he blew through the whole... His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, stories have it that he had his bedroom converted. He called it the Sol Auron. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese drat. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fable. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they entered, His Majesty's courtiers said it held cocaine. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately, some years ago, a group of liberals. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a... Neither do people in Martinaise. Those critics might have it wrong though. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice? Or a political state? Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here.
The king stands high above you. Survey. Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then... small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to the photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century. No response, wherever.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her. Why?
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. And oh, not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
A Stash Ryko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time. An old case for my precinct. A couple of Zhimsk migrants saw a Stash Ryko stopped in the street, painted just like this, muddy brown. Murdered the driver on the spot. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that. 4 years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive.
Could it be another Stajajko murder? You really should ask me to brief you on the case. But right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and guess the two aren't related. Yes, detective? Okay, I'm not going to honor kill anyone over this, but I've seen it.
Bastards! We have a right to work. Hold up and stay frosty.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for... Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people... Rights of people.
His manner of speaking is wooden.
Maybe you should ask them the question. We have families to feed, you piece of...
So do we, Scott.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working. If the bastards... Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. Why don't you go arrest them?
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least...
No! They will give up eventually. We were promised main gates, and I don't mean the scrawny mess like civilized folk, you mean?
It would be better.
No! They will. Honest men and women. We came here.
I have a question. Why do all these men...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the mark. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. Why you want... Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a...
We are not picking a side in this.
Pity.
body betrayed.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm sandwich. That is precisely the negligence that has let you reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the... No, you don't. You need to get...
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Begging for help. But you gave the world eugenics. You dominated lesser cultures. You will be super...
It is, baby.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. Bring your troops. The walls will be lined.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. The best idea.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanent...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic...
Correct.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop.
He had nothing to do with it.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma run. Mr. Claire is a man. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your bet.
He looks toward the harbor, motionless, the tattoos on his face like a web of stone.
We still need to get into the...
Try the jump, up there on the roof. It'll be worth it.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and
You are obviously a liberal, Sailorite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology, and there are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals. A receding genetic pool has led them out on reprehensible street parades. And you know them by the names of their nation-states. The
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotvoldian descent. They do in some municipalities of Oranje.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreathed.
Colorful tassels are
The Vespertines and Messenians, the other large mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking, as proven by the Maun and the Mesk. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite are on the Areopagites are the latter is type B are the unheroic.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Chest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
Yes, to an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and your pinkness is a racial quality that has to be the Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopage, its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Simonese and Areopagite halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Too mixed to know, right?
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution is fatal, family. Enough of type mediocrity. Types CF are a museum of failed lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a Mesk woman and a Simonese man. Only possible if the mother is Mesk. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey.
It seems unlikely that 2 human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure? The Khoiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. This will never happen. The Simonese and the Khoiko may have similar interbreeding problems, but enough. It is cruel, you understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself. You need to internalize what you have heard here today. Then I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss. There is nothing fun. The
Khoikos of Grad.
To an untrained pinkness, the Khoi.
Wouldn't he be one for? Is it 82,000 years?
The revolt, enough of. I cannot put. The unpromising race pupil returns.
Kuno care? So? Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the...
Kuno sent you...
Look, Pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played... What is this? Trying to be cool with your new asshole? Kuno was after this shit.
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't...
Yes?
This coin-operated why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
There was a revitalization project. They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. That's odd. I could swear you were a police officer.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
There must be another way into the building.
Hey, what's that noise down there?
Are you trying to sneak up on me?
Apparently, she doesn't like logic error. She is not.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out. Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? Trying to sneak up on me?
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the door rattles against your knuckle. A striking woman leans against the cabin.
Good afternoon, officers. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel, there is strength.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview.
It happens quicker than a shooting star.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. Everything. Right up to, but not including, I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a...
And how are the talks?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all...
Wait. She just admitted that the...
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for... Let's say I was...
And when did you?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes,
But the strike began in...
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior...
This isn't the first time.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, there are leaflets every work.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard no. And now, people are getting lynched,
Excuse me, from whom did you...
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me Manya.
This checks out.
Everard Clare is a man of the... Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen. And I deal with men. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother. Except it's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. With a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their work. The Débardeurs Union was organized labor at its best.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. And your opinion, detective? If I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last...
This forewoman, her name...
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. Downright haunting. If you're... The point of the presentation...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
The scabs? You mean...
Don't let her answer it herself.
If these workers were
It's implied. She's open to discussing this.
Of course. How else can I help? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the forced day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else. Quite a few things. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer...
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41.
How curious. Why is that, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of... I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear. I do believe you, naive as that may sound.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Of course. But before... The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us. This...
Yes, an experimental side case.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
Are they now?
A deep synthesis.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been... This place used to be a province. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. Yes, we're on an island...
Known to the early Revacholians as
Caillou.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her. And to humanity at large.
Revachol? The great kind. History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and in the DeLorean century. They say it's where the terrible, by that I mean, conflict. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island, able to sustain up to 200 million people, in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean. The world's connective tissue. I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
A collection of tall ghosts behind the water vapor.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the...
Silence. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. She observes your eyes. This is one thought you need to complete.
Was there something else you want?
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Madame Messier will be here later too.
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Oh, of course not. You are already diligent for getting this far, and...
Indeed. I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Of course, Detective.
Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes. You have... Oh, yeah. Look at yourself. You're a human predominant. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't. That's just what it's like. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in. Sure. And has it... Are you rich? Get out of here. You're a pauper. You work harder than anyone. Almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically... Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam cut. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate that is Revachol? You and I both but they got the 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved, and the boomboxes on the shelf look one especially catches your eye. Deep, just make sure it works before you buy it.
Absolutely.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
He is a good one, that.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others. Why? What's this? A headless...
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider. The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend. 50 cents. Bargain price.
He lost his cap when he lost his head.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed...
They're not all blue.
Which ones?
Big men on big horses.
Mm-hmm. I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian nights.
This set of soldiers...
You're probably... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't... I don't know. It's not often that I see officers from... What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Oh no.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me...
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? In that case, she'll be happy to get a visit from us, if we can find her.
My apologies.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing...
Of course. I doubt it, but I do my best to keep my...
He doesn't know anything.
He's been by the shop.
There was something awfully deliberate about that laziness.
They weren't the most, but I bowed out at some point. I prefer to what... It was all very strange. That forewoman was more pleasant than Everard. But I guess he tried. Wanted to...
So you don't know what kind of arrangements he was talking about?
As I said, I refused to talk to him. That's why he came back a second time. He purchased a remarkably garish paper.
He nods reluctantly. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors. Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward, a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I tried to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. Prolidon is just something since I was with the emergency relief brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not fit.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle...
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste. The construction began during, needless to say, a primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam.
We were an all-volunteer force.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. There's a reason why. So much disappointment and early deaths. Cancer mostly. No one's.
So much.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor. The cleanup happened 15 years ago, so I came to Martinez. People told I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Hello, have you tried it?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending he won't be your knock, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
If you say, here you go, man. Of course.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something.